What's going on, guys? It is JS here, back with another video, and today's video is another chapter summary on Step Closer, and we are going to be talking about the chapter, if I can get to it. We're going to be talking about the chapter Dance With Me. So, this chapter is based on a story with glasses of Ballora. So, this is all I have to think about the chapter. Just it left me very confused. But I kind of had a rate. I'm gonna rate it like a 6 out of 10. It was okay. It was, like I said, it's okay, but at least we get a mention of, what I'll be talking about in a bit. So, spoiler, I'm just gonna be saying a spoiler free. It's about a whole thing of glasses with Ballora. That's it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get onto the story. Alright, here we go. Dance With Me. So this chapter is based on our main protagonist, which is Casey. Now, it does mention in the book later on, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. Casey is a person who lives, in a warehouse. She's basically homeless, and yeah, she has to, steal, to get money. She has to, just a lot of thievery and all that stuff. So she is at an area, and there's a restaurant that she sees across called Circus Baby's Pizza. Now, if you think of that, Circus Baby. Apparently it's in the book universe as well, which is interesting. So they're planning on robbing this, or taking stuff from this family. So from a mom and a girl, and they're just talking. It's they're just talking about Circus Baby. That she's really pretty. And then the kid's wearing a T-shirt with, Circus Baby animatronics on it. So while they continue talking, Casey goes over to the mom and they steal her purse, and then, of course, they get really, the mother and the kid gets upset because of it, but then Casey and the others go to the warehouse where they stay. Now, the people that Casey stays with is Jack and AJ. They are two other people who are homeless as well. They met up by, I think a carnival type of thing. It does mention this in the book, but I'm gonna go ahead and mention it now. They met at this carnival, and they were impressed by Casey's skills, and they basically are like, hey, yeah, we're gonna, be a team and together. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and describe to you guys on what their, environment is. So it says, she met the guys back at home, or at what passed for home. Casey and Jack and AJ stayed in an abandoned warehouse. There was no electricity. They had to make do with flashlights and camping lanterns, but there was a good roof and the building was well insulated, which made it warmer than being outside. They slept in sleeping bags and heated food on a little 2-burner cook stove, the kind people use on camping trips. Actually, living in the warehouse was kind of indoor camping. That was one way to see it, Casey thought. So, I guess to make it easy on themselves, they sleep at a warehouse. They're just talking about how they're gonna split and everything, and they're just basically saying, yeah, that Jack and AJ is yeah, we got it, but then Casey's but technically I got it. So they're looking through the bag, and they see the candy and the junk that they call it junk, that the people got at the pizza place. And then they got what they were looking for, which is the mom's wallet. Then they're looking through the bag even more, and they're looking at the dollars, and they have $87. How ironic is that? $87. They also find the driver's license, the cards, and I think that's basically, and also I think I did mention earlier that they had the girl's kitty bag. So whenever Jack and AJ went out, Casey dug more into what they took, and she was looking at the Circus Baby's bag, from the girl, what they got, and this is what it says. After the guys gone out, Casey lay on top of her sleeping bag and dug through a plastic sack from Circus Baby's Pizza World. She pulled out a pair of cardboard glasses with flimsy plastic lenses. The cardboard was decorated with a picture of some kind of weird robot ballerina. Casey put the glasses on briefly, but they made her feel strangely dizzy. And if there was something she was supposed to be seeing, it was too dark to see. So, a ballerina, when you think of that, Ballora, which is, you'll actually see who it actually will be. And then the rest of the stuff is like candy, and then, you know, she finds a lollipop, and then, you know, she unwraps it, and she starts to eat the lollipop. And in this page, like in these 2 pages, it goes, like in two of the pages, it goes into more detail about, you know, Casey's past, which I probably will read to you guys. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys about this. A little kid. She had robbed as a little kid. A saying came into Casey's head, like taking candy from a baby. That's literally what she'd done today. She wasn't proud of it, but at the same time, the kid's mom had nice shoes and a nice purse and a car. Casey's mom hasn't been crazy about being a mom. She worked nights and slept days and often. When Casey came home from school, her mom looked at her with a mixture of surprise and annoyance, and if she was thinking, oh, forgot, I have a kid, don't I? Dinner was usually a bowl of cereal or a sandwich before her mom went out to work at the club. While her mom was gone, Casey did her homework, took a shower, and watched TV until bedtime. She had instructions to go to the apartment of the old lady next door if there was ever an emergency, but there never was. Casey was good at taking care of herself. When Casey was a teenager, her mom got a new boyfriend who seemed like he was going to stick around longer than her past strings of boyfriends. He got a steady job and could help her mom with money. The only drawback was that he didn't want a teenager around freeloading, as he called it. He said he moved out of his parents' house when he got in a job by the time he was Casey's age, and that was why he was so successful. When he asked her mom to choose between him and Casey, she didn't think twice about the choice. Casey was on the street before 17. So basically, Casey's mom's boyfriend asked her mom, it's like, hey, would you rather have me or your daughter? But then she didn't really give a second thought. She's like, I'd rather have you than my daughter, which makes me feel so bad for Casey, honestly. Like, oh my gosh. And then also it goes into more descriptions, like, because, you know, her mom left her, she dropped out. Basically, she dropped out of high school, even though she was pretty successful. Like, her grades are good, she was an athlete, and she could have possibly gotten scholarships. And she also had a job, which was at a famous fried chicken place, and one time when she was working, she found a dollar bill, like a $20 bill, I'm pretty sure it said it was, like in some person's jacket pocket, and she took it, and I guess that's a whole, like, thing that made her start, become a thief. And then I mentioned earlier, that she met Jack and AJ at a festival, and they're like, yeah, we've been watching you and you're really good, so do you want to come with us so you don't have to fly solo? And that's basically what she does. And it does say in the book that she does consider them like family, like brothers or something like that. But it's really interesting. So basically, Casey's life, she usually goes to a little burger barn. She gets, some food, so that way she'll be, energized for the day. And then usually she would go in the bathroom, do like her daily stuff, like, wash herself, brush her teeth, all that, just by in the bathroom, which is definitely, it's really impressive. So after she got out of the restaurant, she thought, might as well, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and try these Ballora glasses on. And she reads, she sees a rolled up paper which was taped to the glasses, and it said, put on the glasses and Ballora will dance for you. So this just confirmed that the ballerina I was talking about earlier is definitely Ballora. So she put the glasses back on, and she looked at the side, and then it says she looked at the sidewalk. Hold on, I'll actually read this for you. Casey put on the glasses and felt the same dizziness as the night before. She looked down the sidewalk towards Circus Baby's Pizza World. There in the distance, she saw the image of a ballerina, her hands above her head, standing on tiptoe and spinning. It wasn't a very sharp image, blue and a little fuzzy, a hologram. That was what these kind of pictures were called. She suddenly remembered, but even if distant and blurry, there was something fascinating about the strange ballerina doll twirling. A pirouette, that was a word for that kind of twirling. When she was little, Casey wanted to be a ballerina, just like lots of other girls. But there had been no money, and her mother had said even if there had been money, she wouldn't waste it on something useless as dance class. So yeah, it does technically confirm that this is Ballora. And whenever they were describing, Ballora's movement, it literally reminded me of, her movement from Sister Location. Yeah, whenever you had to go through Ballora's gallery or something like, I think it was Ballora's gallery. It did remind me of that when she was like dancing in front of you. That was interesting. So after that, she started to feel dizzy again, and then she took the glasses off, and she was like, you know what, this is just stupid, for a cheap type of toy. So when she meets up with Jack and AJ, she asks us like, hey, try these glasses on and see, if you see anything. So they tried on, and they're like, we don't see anything. And Casey's like very confused about it. She's like, how come you're not able to see? And they're just like, I don't know, all I see is blue. That's literally all they see from looking in the glasses. And for some reason Casey is the only one who can see it, so it's a little odd right there. Eventually later they go to a convenience store and they try to see if the woman's credit card will work, and it does end up working, and they got a couple of things so that way they would be able to survive. So also it describes more of what Casey I guess more of her personal life. This is basically what it reads. Casey had grown up in a series of progressively dumpier apartments. Her mom would get evicted for not paying the rent, and then they moved to another place that was smaller and dirtier than the one before. There were always cockroaches, and in the summer, an endless parade of ants. When Casey got old enough, she washed the dishes and took out the garbage that her mom let pile up. Cleaning helped, but bugs would still come all over the people's apartments like party crashers looking for free food and drink. Casey always thought when she grew up she would have a neat little apartment of her own and now be clean and bug free. Unlike her mom, she would pay the rent on time every month. So it goes to more of like how I guess Casey would handle things more than her mom, would have done. So Casey goes to the park area, and there's like, a lot of leaves, whole type of, fall scenery that you guys would imagine. But she decided to put on the glasses again, and this is what it reads. It was the strangest thing. She didn't want to see Ballora. She didn't like the way she was seeing Ballora made her feel. Yet she felt herself reaching for the cardboard glasses. Felt herself putting them on. She felt the same dizziness, steadying herself against a tree. Instead of the woods in front of her, where sunlight sparkled through the gaps in the branches, there was Ballora, pirouetting among the colorful fall leaves. As she spun, the bright leaves were sucked into the vortex. They flew around her, at first gentle, then faster, and through, trapped in a whirlwind. So it kind of gets you thinking, it's like, is these glasses actually like real? I mean, not like real, but like, is this actually, like, can the leaves actually be, flowing whenever Ballora's dancing, whenever the glasses are off? That's what I was like thinking. It's like, if the glasses are off and the leaves are still twirling, could that still happen, So Casey, Jack, and AJ go to like this club, and they see this woman who has like a pink purse, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead, do our usual, we're gonna steal it. So Casey has some scissors, and they're like, okay, I'm thinking if we can, cut the purse, we could be able to, get into what they need. And she accidentally cuts the woman's arm. So the next day she asks them again, it's like, hey, you guys are still not able to see, Ballora, right? And they're just like, nope, nothing, not at all. Like, why are you even worried? So she's like, well, for some odd reason, I could still see them. But then eventually Jack took the glasses and he threw them away, which made Casey feel a lot better. But then eventually, she did pick it up again, because I think the curiosity got to her, most likely. I'm not entirely sure, but I think she was still definitely curious about the whole, about the glasses. What I forgot to mention is that every time Casey sees, Ballora, it always gets like closer and closer to her. I think it will eventually say that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now. Every time Casey puts the glasses on, Ballora just comes closer and closer to her. So they go to the store, they try to buy some things, with the woman's credit card, but they try, paying for it, but it doesn't, because they think that the woman reported it stolen, because usually whenever people do that, if their cards are stolen, they would call the company to basically ask if they can stop the card for right now until they get it back. So Casey, Jack, and AJ decide that, hey, we're just gonna go to a crowded area, but they got what they needed, but they almost got caught by the cops, which scared them. So during the night, Casey, was feeling cold because it was feeling warm outside of the warehouse, but apparently in the warehouse it's cold. So she decided to go to this little curb area, and she decides to put on the glasses, and then she noticed that Ballora was closer than before, and she could literally see every single joint of Ballora. After that, she took the glasses off, and she was like, okay, I need to figure some way to, escape from her. So she decides to have, a new life. She wants to change everything. She wants to start a new life. So she decides to go to the bus station, and she's going to go to Memphis. So that way, she can have a brand new start for her. So she meets up with a nice lady, and she's like, hey, so she talks to the lady for a second, and she's like, okay, I know it's not my whole I guess place to talk about this, but she says to Kelsey that, I think you're someone who's running away from something. And this quote in particular left me very interested. You seem like a young lady who's running away from something. In my experience, sometimes if you try to run away from your problems, those problems end up following you, which will definitely make sense soon. So Casey arrives in Memphis. She decides to go to an inn that costs about $30. Well, after Casey gets into her room, she gets everything all settled down. She takes a quick little bath, and then she chills out for a while. Then she walks around the streets for a little bit, and then she sees a place called Royal Cafe, and then they had a little sign that says Help Wanted, which literally got me thinking of the game Help Wanted. Literally, no joke. And then she talks to the managers about the job, that she wants to have a job. They don't really give her any training at all. All they basically say about her main thing is bussing pans, which is cleaning. So you clean the dishes, and it's basically a lot of cleaning. So she continues to clean, and then Jimmy, the manager, continues to yell at her, and then Brenda is I think is a sassy type of worker who suspects that Casey is up to no good. So what Casey does is every time someone leaves a tip, she takes only $1, but Brenda becomes suspicious of this, because it does say, because she knows how much the customer pays her, but she's very suspicious of that. So she tells Jimmy, the manager, and Jimmy calls over to her. It's like, okay, can you come here for a second? And they they discuss what happens, and then Brenda of course is all suspicious, and then Casey, from the many times she gets called, she's like, okay, I need, if I could call it, I deny. So Jimmy comes up with a solution. It's like, okay, you're not gonna get fired, I'm just gonna watch you. And then Brenda's just like, wait, what? No, don't do that at all. So on her way from work, she goes back home, and she goes to sleep. So this is something I want to read out to you guys, and it's very interesting. That night, Casey dreamed she was sitting in a velvet seat in a beautiful theater with a golden dome ceiling. The theater was empty except for Casey. The lights went down, sending the room into blackness, and orchestral music swelled. The lights came up on the stage, and Ballora danced out on tiptoe. She danced to the left side of the stage, and a huge purple and gold satin banner unrolled from the ceiling. It was printed in fancy letters with the word liar. Ballora put her hands on her cheek, and it startled, then lifted her arms in a long pirouette. She danced over to the right side of the stage, where another large purple and gold banner unrolled. This one was printed with the word thief. Ballora put her hands to her cheeks again, then danced to the center of the stage, spun, and looked directly at Casey. She pointed at her, and one more banner unfurled center stage. This one said, "You." Casey woke up gasping gasping in a cold sweat. So basically, I think because of all of this, it's really truly getting to her, like, you know, from, you know, becoming a thief, you know, being a liar and all that. Oh man, dude. So she decides to go to Nashville so she can have like another fresh start, like this one for real this time. So again, she's walking around, you know, trying to find a job, and she goes to like she finds an interview, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go to this interview, I'm gonna have another fresh start. So she goes over to a little shop so you know, she could buy like a dress and shoes, because what she's wearing right now won't be, you know, good for the interview. So she goes over to, she talks to a lady about you know, her interview, and she's like, what would be the best type of dress? So she gets the dress from the lady, and then, you know, she tries it on, she likes it, and then she needs to get some shoes. So apparently oh my gosh, I feel so like all throughout this book, it literally made me feel so like sympathetic for her. I just felt so much sympathy for her, because man, I feel so bad for her. So unfortunately, you know, she doesn't have any money for the shoes, so she decides to just buy the shoes instead, but she puts the dress in her backpack, so hopefully she could get away with it. So she purchases the shoes, and she goes, you know, exits the store, and then the alarm pulls off. The manager goes over to her and it's like, okay, what's going on? Let me check your bag so you could be on your way. But then the manager, you know, gets all mad at her and like threatening her to call the police. And then Kelsey, you know, after, you know, the manager yelling at her about, you know, calling the police, she's like, please don't, like, it's like, I need them for an interview, but I don't have enough money for both. But, you know, after enough arguing, a good person pulls up behind her. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna pay for it. I believe her, and I definitely want to help. Which, oh man, that made my heart sink. It made me, oh my gosh, it was. So whenever Casey gets back to the motel, she decides to put the glasses back on, and whew, this is what it reads. Allura was pressed against the window. Her face, pretty at a distance, was terrifying up close. Split down the middle, with a gaping red mouth and glowing eyes. Eyes which Casey saw right through in her soul. Allura's long, blue painted fingernails scraped against the glass with a horrible metallic screech. Kelsey backed away from the window. Okay, Allura, Casey said, please just let me go do this job interview first. Then I know what I have to do. But then she's like, okay, you know what? That's enough. I'm going to give these glasses back to the woman that, you know, I took the glasses from. And she learns that the woman that, you know, she stole the items from is Sarah Avery. So she goes over there, she admits what she done. The woman, you know, forgives her, which is really, really good. And she meets up with the girl that, you know, she stole the glasses from, and her name is Isabella. So I'm gonna read this last part to you. Oh man. All right, here we go. I'm Isabella, the little girl said. Her eyes were big and blue, but they weren't bright and lively, not blank like Allura's. Isabella, I think I have something that belongs to you, Kelsey said. Isabella hopped down from her chair. What is it? Casey reached into her bag and pulled out the cardboard glasses and held them out to Isabella. Isabella's wide blue eyes grew even wider. It's my Allura glasses. It's my Allura glasses that got stole, Mommy. Sarah set 2 mugs of tea and 1 cup of juice on this table. Stolen, not stole, but you're right. Tell Casey thank you for returning them. Thank you for returning my glasses, Casey, Isabella said, smiling at her. Casey smiled back. You're welcome. Casey knew she didn't need them anymore, and besides, they had always really belonged to Isabella. Isabella put on the glasses and let out a gasp of surprise. There she is, Isabella said. The little girl stood still for a moment, glasses on, her mouth agape in wonder, and then she started to dance. And that was it. I did like it. It was a really, really good ending. Like, it was it's like one of those endings that's just like fills you with relief. But yeah, that's basically it. So the next story is going to be, if I can get to it, Coming Home. Now, I did hear that this chapter is definitely interesting, you know, with a lot of lore and all that. And yeah, I can't wait. So this video, as you guys are seeing it, is going to be released today, recorded, edited, and uploaded today. Yeah, that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Also, too, I have a new Twitter. It's actually my second Twitter. It's all about, FNAF news related type of stuff. So, anything FNAF news related, like, new books, games, all that. Anything FNAF news related, that will be on my Twitter. But yeah, everything of my socials will be in the link in the description below. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.